Hello and welcome back to Mexico News Network's Daily Report, broadcasting from El Dorado Rodal Spa Resort by Carisma. Remember to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Google Plus for more information, and log on to our website www.mexiconewsnetwork.com. Let's continue with more news. Representatives from the three North American countries have agreed to increase coordination and cooperation in order to protect bat species by signing a letter of intent with the purpose of encouraging conservation, monitoring bat population, and developing programs to protect migratory species. A historic agreement between Canada, the United States, and Mexico. Migrating species of North American bats have faced loss of migration habitats, disease, and death from wind turbines. Moreover, some species of this flying mammal are considered threatened or endangered. In an attempt to turn the situation around, Canada, the U.S., and Mexico will be working together, eliminating borders in this regard. Wildlife sees no passports and wildlife sees no borders, stated Leona Aguilar, Federal Environment Minister of Canada, quoted in an article from CBC News. So how we deal with species at risk has to be thinking outside the box. The letter of intent related to efforts to promote conservation of bats in the United Mexican States, the United States of America, and Canada was signed as part of the annual meeting of the Trilateral Committee for Wildlife and Ecosystem Conservation and Management, and states the conjoint efforts to protect and conserve these animals. This agreement provides a formal avenue for coordinating conservation across countries for range-wide species recovery, stated Mylia Baylis, Bat Conservation International Senior Director for U.S.-Canada Conservation, quoted in a communique. Some of the migrating species of North America include the Mexican free-tailed bat, which are found from the central U.S. all the way south to Argentina, the little brown bat, found in Canada and across the central USA, and the eastern red bat, which can be found on the eastern half of the U.S. and northeast part of Mexico. With this project created by the National Marine Park of Cancun, authorities hope to preserve and restore the reefs in the Mexican Caribbean. Coral colonies have many enemies, natural and otherwise, which is why a group of experts decided to create nurseries using polyvinyl chloride, PVC. The project was implemented by the National Marine Park of Cancun and consists of cutting sections of coral growth from their natural reefs and moving them to vertically positioned PVC tubes. This keeps the coral safe from predators and prevents it from dying buried in the sand if it's detached. The nursery's design consists of PVC tubes vertically positioned and attached to a concrete base that keeps them safely anchored and stable. Each one contains 30 small coral colonies placed in one row. They are located in a safe location known only to the park wardens, with shallow, clear water that lets the sunlight essential to the coral's development reach the colony. The goal of the project is to restore reefs in the Mexican Caribbean and to increase fish and invertebrate populations which find refuge among the coral reefs. Currently, only the 4% of the reef surface is part of the Cancun and Isla Mujeres National Marine Park. From that total, only 10% is healthy coral, due to the effects that residual waters have on encouraging excess algae growth at the coral base. For this reason, local authorities have implemented solutions such as the nursery and the underwater art museum, MUSA, of the coast of Cancun, which has helped reduce the volume of visitors to naturally originated reefs, redirecting them to see the underwater sculptures. This helps lessen impact and stress on the reefs and allows visitors to appreciate art in a different way. Mexico is a country rich in wildlife and makes up about 10% of the species living in the world. At least half of these are endemic. Unfortunately, many of these species are endangered or at risk. Throughout the country, we can find over 200,000 species that inhabit in different states, and thanks to that mega diversity of the nation, Mexico is the position in the third place worldwide. From these species, at least 2,584 are at risk due to their habitat destruction and other type of abuse. The states where these species are located are Baja California, Sonora, Chihuahua, Coahuila, Nuevo León, Tamaulipas, Durango, Jalisco, Tabasco, Veracruz, Campeche, Oaxaca, Chiapas, Yucatán, Quintana Roo, and Mexico City. It has been reported that Mexico is a country with the most critical location, and Oaxaca as a state with the largest number of endangered species sites in the country. Some of the endangered animals in Mexican territory are the following mammals: anteater, armadillo, spider monkey, howler monkey, ocelot, Mexican wolf, prairie dog, jaguar, black bear, volcano rabbit, tapir, vaquita, and manatee. And the birds: red macaw, green macaw, socorro dove, reptiles, loggerhead turtle, and American crocodile, and the endemic amphibian, the Mexican salamander. This last one is in critical state, and a study is on the way to determine if the species has completely disappeared. In the last study, only 100 specimens were found. In Mexico, there are protected areas for some species, which seek to recover or at least not decrease the actual number of species. That is why it is very important to join efforts, since we all need to take into account that our actions have consequences, and we must respect these and all of the other living creatures whom we share our world with. Mexico City is a massive metropolis, the largest in the Western Hemisphere, where 22 million people live in an area of 3,700 square meters. It is a vibrant, never-resting city, Mexico's capital and a heart of Mexican culture, art, history, and politics. As many other large cities, it is faced also with big-scale problems, housing and traffic. That's where experts from the Harvard Graduate School of Design are working on these issues and solving them. Regarding the housing problem, the city needs at least 40,000 units a year, and half of them should be in affordable range of prices. But the problem begins when only 20,000 units get built. Ironically, there are many abandoned units which were built on cheap, far-away land and ended up being unsustainable culturally speaking. People couldn't live so far away from the heart of the city, and besides, they have poor connection to rapid transport. But the city just keeps growing, and the problem too. It needs strong, sustainable urban housing for the future. The solution proposed is to draw housing back towards the city. The Sustainable Urban Development Initiative at GSD is financed by Infonavit, Mexico's national worker housing agency. The plan is to repopulate the urban centers in order to cut driving time, save energy, and avoid social tension. The idea is to create attractive, high-density, affordable housing, not only for people to live in, but to grow and build a community. A sense of community also benefits residents to share goals, organize social gatherings, and have a secure environment. These units are smartly planned, very dense but not overcrowded, with easy and close access to transportation and also public spaces to promote social interaction. In such large metropolis, it is expected that there is an important number of cars. In Mexico City, only 26% of city workers use personal vehicles. All of the rest use city-subsidized modern buses, trolley cars, and the subway, but none of these are growing fast enough to meet demand. The traffic is made up by 14 million kilometers, but the city's traffic capacity is not enough. 60% of commuters and those living furthest from the heart of the city requires access to transport that has informal stops and flexible routes, and the long-term plan is to replace microbuses and cars with low-polluting buses with official routes, transform avenues to reserve 2 lanes for buses. Another alternative is to reduce traffic congestion by sharing streets with pedestrians. In fact, some heavily transited streets have become preambulatory corridors. A different strategy is the bicycle sharing system Ecobici, which is in fact the largest in Latin America, and in 2014 reached to 500,000 riders a month. It is a simple system where users purchase a year membership and can access the numerous bikes around town, located in their special stations. Harvard design experts, a city and city residents see hope and progress. And as stated by Jose Castillo, architect and lecturer at Harvard's Graduate School of Design, they cannot relocate 21 million people. They cannot spend their lives worrying about the bad decisions they have made. They have to actively adapt. With this in mind is that the changes are happening and Mexico City is truly having a magnificent transformation. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back with more information on Mexico and the Riviera Maya after these brief messages.